Hey y'all. I guess I'll give you a little close-up of what I'm doing here. So, last time I think we did a video, I was talking about metal prep. This product is actually called Prep and Etch. It's made by Clean Strip. It works pretty good. I've used it before on some other projects. And if you can remember back to what this frame looked like before, I mean, if you could sort of discount all the dirt and stuff that was on it, it was covered with rust. Everywhere where the paint was off, it was covered with rust, and so I basically just cleaned and degreased it, and the phosphoric acid does a real good job of like turning what it actually does is it turns the rust into iron phosphate, which is a semi-inert substance, much different than iron oxide, right? So it basically just turns it into a gray-looking deposit on there, and one of the things I was sort of concerned about, there was like rust in this area right here, and around these gussets, and that's the kind of thing where a sandblaster is not going to be able to get underneath there. So I basically just doused this whole area and some of these areas like this and down in here with it, and you know, once it dries out, it's pretty much chemically inert. So I plan to take this down to the powder coater tomorrow. I think I'm going to probably like put a bunch of old bolts into some of the holes, so I'll have to do a little less tapping once I get the thing back. But I'm excited to see what it looks like once they get it refinished. So I got the shock apart. This is like a mess. I don't know if they took this spring off and then Kryloned it black or whatever, but I'm not sure. I might buy a new one. It looks like ass, that's for sure. This shock, it doesn't look too bad. It's still got a lot of dirt on it. I'm planning on cleaning this up today. It needs some new bearings in the head here. The threads are not damaged on the body, which is good. The clickers still work. It doesn't. There's, yeah, see that? Shouldn't be able to do that. The odd part is if you turn it shaft side down, you can't do that. It acts like a regular shock, which makes me think it may not have nitrogen in it. I haven't checked, but I plan to clean this up. I think what I'll probably just use is some WD-40 and some like a brass brush and Scotch-Brite, and that should do a pretty good job of cleaning it up, and then have it rebuilt. So that's that. Forks. So the forks, let me tell you a little bit about these forks. In 1989, they actually introduced upside down forks. So these were the very first upside down forks for motocross bikes, production motocross bikes from Yamaha. And they're, well, actually they're fairly primitive. They do have a rebound damping underneath the little rubber cap, but they have no compression damping up on the top like a conventional upside down fork. But what I'm concerned about here is, if you can see, these are like blisters. There's some sort of corrosion going on underneath the anodizing for some reason. I mean, I don't have any idea how this works. They're like long blisters, and I'm assuming that's maybe partially because of the way the tube is extruded, or not, I don't know, but they're soft. So that means that there's some material that's been compromised in this. And I don't think there's any way that you're going to be able to like make these things disappear, short of like just covering them up with like those cheesy fork guards you can buy out there. So I made the executive decision to replace them. And since I actually had to cut the steering stem off when I was, well, the threads were destroyed underneath the nut, so I had to butcher that. I was going to need at least a lower triple clamp anyway. I found a guy in Florida, which he was selling a front end from a 1990. The 1990 had essentially the same forks. They were colored red instead of gold, like those, and they have adjustable compression damping. There's an adjuster on the top cap. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on those, and that should be a good addition to this bike. And even though they're not quite as beefy as the the new forks, 41 millimeter versus 46 millimeter, I think. They'll be good for that, for that bike. So, hey, what are you doing? Hey, come here. Up. Yes. Say hi to the folks. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let me take you over to the workbench here. Dark over here. This is pretty comical. A little sad, but comical. I removed the tires off these rims the other day, and like, good. That one's like so loose you can actually like jiggle it. Another bad one, really loose. So there's a lot of work to be done here. I mean, honestly, I'm under no illusions that I'm going to be able to like move those nipples. The front one actually, they're all tight on the front one down below, but the rear one is just toast. So I got a little bit more stripping to do on this rear. I'm basically going to cut all the spokes out, throw away that beat up sprocket. I'll probably throw away that beat up brake rudder down there too. It's all rusted to hell. Same with the front one down below. Front one's like all rusted. The hubs look like they're in okay shape. The actual rim doesn't look bad. Look, there's a few burrs. I think I think I can make these look pretty nice still, and they don't appear to be dented or warped. So we'll definitely need some new wheel bearings and seals, and we'll refinish that hub too, probably. So got a lot of things in progress right now. There's my swing arm back there. It's that needs a little cleaning and maybe some refurbishment. There's nothing wrong with it though. It needs a new chain guide and rubber block there for the front. What else? Oh. This back over here. Huh? You know you want one, huh? It's like someone that does automotive upholstery, like whip this guy up a new seat cover, huh? They knew what they were doing. They actually, it looks like they used a pneumatic staple gun or something to get this in, and it's installed real nice, but it's got to go. So I started removing staples yesterday. I didn't get too far, but it's going to be a tedious process. There's got to be at least 100 staples in this thing, and every one of them you're gonna have to pry up with a screwdriver and then grab with a pair of needle nose pliers. So that should be fun. The brown van stopped by the other day and dropped a new set of plastic off. Can't wait to see what this looks like on there. But it's going to be a while till we even bother opening this up. UFO makes this. It's basically front fender, rear fender, left and right shrouds, left and right number plates, and a front number plate, all in one package. Complete body kit, OEM. So it should accept the original OEM graphics on it, and it's gonna look good once it gets done. It's gonna be a while though, for sure. So I think that's about all I have right now. I was considering having the motor vapor honed, but that service is really expensive, at least around here anyway. So I'm probably gonna just have to use the old elbow grease method, and one method that usually works really good is WD-40 and Scotch-Brite, and one of my buddies likes to use a brass brush too. So it takes probably a whole can of WD-40 in order to do that, and quite a few Scotch-Brite pads too. But if you stick to it, it actually turns out real nice. So that's the plan. The motor will be coming apart probably pretty quickly. I'm trying to sort of juggle a lot of different things right now. Things that have long lead times, or take a long time to do. I'm trying to sort of push those to the front so that if I need parts, you know, I'm not like sitting here waiting for a long time. Suspension and the frame are probably the two things that I'm trying to concentrate on right now. So once those come back, you know, I can busy myself while those are away. And then once they come back, I can actually start building with things that I've completed. So I guess I'll probably be working on the engine next, since that's sort of like typically the first thing you put back into a completed frame, right? And then once I get the engine where I need it to be, I'll start working on wheels. And you know, after we get, you know, it doesn't take very long to put a bike together if you have like all new pieces, right? So it should go back together pretty quickly, and then you know, once we do that, we'll work on getting it running right and tuned and adjusted and so on. So I'm talking long term, so we're talking like, I'm sure it's going to be like more like April or something before we get to, but in the meantime, we'll keep you updated a couple times a week with developments, and like and subscribe, comment if you like, and thanks for watching.